Hello everyone and welcome to Talking Class with Roland Nish. I'm Matt and in this video I'm going to break down all four subclasses of the Monk class in D&D 5.5 edition or your 2024 Player's Handbook. If you haven't done so already, take a look at our Talking Class playlist. There you're going to find videos that break down what you get for each class, levels 1 through 20, and a separate video that breaks down their subclasses just like this one. If you're interested in playing a monk, let's take a look at the subclass options that are available to you at level 3. First, we come across the Warrior of Mercy. This is going to be good for if you don't have a healer in your party. This will stand out. Even if you do, it is okay, because oftentimes monks are right in the thick of battle, and those who are healers may or may not be. So to have somebody close by that can heal is a great thing. So at level 3, you get two features, Hand of Harm and Hand of Healing. Hand of Harm means once per turn, when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike and deal damage, you can expend one focus point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to one roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. So this is a great way to get some extra damage, although it's going to be necrotic. I find it appropriate that they used a monk with a plague doctor mask on as the artwork for this, and I'm probably going to use that as the thumbnail for this video because it's a great example. And you can see in their hands, it looks like there's a Hand of Harm and Hand of Healing ready to go. Hand of Healing, as a magic action, you can expend one focus point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use Flurry of Blows, you can replace one unarmed strike with the use of this feature without expending a martial arts die or a focus point for the healing. So Fury of Blows is a bonus action that you can take to deal two unarmed strikes. This is saying instead of dealing two, deal one, and then Hand of Healing. The only thing here is you touch a creature. So when it says you touch a creature, we are assuming here that you have a creature within 5 feet of you. So that's great. You can touch them and heal them. But that second part, during the Flurry of Blows, you would need to have both an enemy and an ally within 5 feet of you for you to be able to give away one of your Fury of Blows unarmed strikes to do that healing. So just keep that in mind on the battlefield. It is super useful. Also at level 3, you get Implements of Mercy. You get proficiency in Insight and Medicine and proficiency with an Herbalism kit. For crafting, the Herbalism kit is the one that will help make Potion of Healing. So that makes total sense there. Good stuff. At level 6, you get Physician's Touch. Your Hand of Harm, when you use this is what you got at level 3. At level 6, it grows with you. Now you can also give that creature the poisoned condition until the end of your next turn. It's only going to last a round, but poisoned is pretty strong considering it's going to give the creature disability on attack rolls and ability checks. Love it. Hand of Healing will also grow at level 6 via Physician's Touch, and that when you use your Hand of Healing, you can also end one of the following conditions on the creature that you healed, and that's blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. So that's fantastic, and it's going to grow even further than this. Flurry of Healing and Harm at level 11. When you use your Fury of Blows, you can replace each of the unarmed strikes with a use of Hand of Healing without expending focus points for the healing, because you're essentially using Fury of Blows in its place. So to heal is a little bit stronger than at level 3, being able to, punch heal. So this is a way that feature grows. In addition, when you make an unarmed strike with Fury of Blows and deal damage, you can use Hand of Harm with that strike without expending a focus point for Hand of Harm. You could still use Hand of Harm only once per turn. You can use these benefits a total number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So that's great. Your first set of features at level 3, they grow at level 6, and they kind of cap off here at level 11. But then at level 17, you get Hand of Ultimate Mercy. As a magic action, you can touch the corpse of a creature that died within the past 24 hours and expend 5 focus points. The creature then returns to life with a number of hit points equal to 4d10 plus your Wisdom modifier. If the creature died with any of the following conditions, the creature revives with them removed, and that would be blind, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned, which matches what you're able to take off in a Hand of Healing. So I feel like this is really balanced subclass, and I feel like they thought this out really well to really set up this monk to be able to do monk things, but also help out the rest of the party. Okay, The next subclass we're going to look at is the Warrior of Shadow. So this is backstory time. You might want to build this in, but this is somebody that's going to harness the power of the Shadowfell. You're at home in the darkness. Here's what that sounds like. At level 3, you get Shadow Arts. You're going to get a couple of things here. First, you can expend 1 focus point to cast the Darkness spell with no spell components. You can see within the spell's area when you cast it with this feature. It does not affect you. When the spell persists, you can move in the area of darkness to a space within 60 feet of yourself at the start of each of your turns. Very cool to be able to blind the rest of the battlefield and move yourself around in a sneaky way. You also get dark vision. If you didn't already have it, your range is going to be out to 60 feet. And if you already did have it, it will extend your dark vision by 60 feet. Lastly, you get shadowy figments. You know the minor illusion spell, and wisdom is your spellcasting ability for it. So that's really cool. So you're using the air around you really to grab darkness, to be able to see in it, to put a minor illusion together to maybe cause a distraction. That's really cool because it's making you like sneaky like a rogue, but still doing monk things. This is like ninja to me. Okay. If you want to play a Ninja Turtle, I would do Way of the Shadow. All right. Level 6, Shadow Step. While entirely within dim light or darkness, you can use a bonus action to teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. That is also in dim light or darkness. You then have advantage on the next melee attack you make before the end of the current turn. So this is really cool. It's kind of like a druid walking into a tree and coming out another one, like Tree Stride. But this is shadows. So this is really cool. I think this is like a level up for the rogue. I know rogue is its own independent class and it has its own things, and we're going to cover that too. But this is such a great subclass if you're feeling roguey and want to play monk. At level 11, you get improved shadow step. This means on your shadow step, when you expend a focus point to use it, you remove the requirement that you have to start and end in dim light or darkness. So now you can just do it at will. You can make an unarmed strike immediately after you teleport. And remember, this still applies from level 6. You have advantage on that unarmed strike immediately after you teleport. Or if there's no one in your range, this will apply until the end of your current turn. So remember those things as you're leveling up, that those things still happen. At level 17, you get Cloak of Shadows as a magic action. While entirely in dim light or darkness, you can expend 3 focus points to shroud yourself in shadow for a minute, or until you have the incapacitated condition, or until you end your turn in bright light. While shrouded by these shadows, you gain the following effects. You're invisible. You are also partially incorporeal, which means you can move through occupied spaces as if they were difficult terrain, so half speed. If you end your turn in such a space, you are shunted to the last unoccupied space that you were in, not one nearby, so you're not going to be able to sneakily get extra movement out of it. It's going to push you back to your last unoccupied space. Then you get Shadow Flurry. You can use your Flurry of Blows without expending focus points. So that's free 2 punches here at level 17. That's a good one. I'm a big fan of Warrior of Shadow. I think it's a great subclass and a good option if you want to be stealthy. Warrior of the Elements sounds exactly, it is what it sounds like. At level 3, you are attuned to the elements. At the start of your turn, you spend 1 focus point to imbue yourself with elemental energy that lasts 10 minutes or until you are incapacitated, and you gain the following effects. Reach. When you make an unarmed strike, your reach is 10 feet greater than normal. Not 10 feet, 10 feet greater than normal. If your reach is 5 feet, that means it's now 15 feet. Now, if your DM will let you pair this with some of the older versions monster species, imagine playing a bugbear whose normal reach is 10 feet, and a bugbear warrior of the elements, their reach would end up being 20 feet. That is wild. Talk to your DM about that, though. Don't break the game. Elemental strikes, whenever you hit with your unarmed strike, you can cause it to deal your choice of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage instead of the normal damage type. When you deal one of these types with it, you can also force the target to make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you can move the target up to 10 feet toward or away from you as elemental energy swirls around it. Very, very cool. I like the use of the elements in the unarmed strike here because an unarmed strike does not really cost you much to use, but using the elements on purpose, and let's say you have 2 unarmed strike attacks, right? When you use Fury of Blows. use a different element for each one and try and determine what that monster is resistant or immune to. That's a good way to find out. Um, Also, at level 3, manipulate elements. You know Elementalism spell, and Wisdom is the spell casting ability for it. Elementalism is an action, and it's a cantrip. You exert control, creating one of the following effects: beckon air, beckon earth, beckon fire, beckon water. Um, Basically, you can create these things in a 5-foot cube or square area. Beckon air, doors and shutters could be opened or closed. Um, Beckon earth, you can have a single word appear in your handwriting in a patch of dirt or sand, so you can leave a message behind. Beckon fire basically allows you to choose the color and the scent of the fire. The embers can light candles, torches, or lamps, and the smoke's scent lingers for a minute. Beckon water will allow you to create a cup of clean water either in an open container or on a surface, and the water evaporates in a minute. You can also do like a misty spray in a 5-foot cube. And then there is sculpt element. You cause dirt, sand, fire, smoke, mist, or water that can fit in a 1-foot cube to assume the crude shape of something else for an hour. So just being able to manipulate the elements is a cool feature. Nice cantrip to do some neat things. At level 6, you get Elemental Burst. As a magic action, you can expend 2 focus points to cause elemental energy to burst in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point within 120 feet of yourself. You could choose the damage type of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Each creature in the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes damage of the chosen type equal to 3 rolls of your martial arts die. On a successful save, a creature takes half the damage. I think that's really cool to be able to do something similar. Again, you're trying to find out, if there's multiple creatures in an area, what are they resistant? What are they immune to? Utilize this to find that out early in combat so you and your teammates aren't wasting good spells like Fireball on something that's resistant to fire. Level 11, Stride of the Elements. While your elemental attunement is active, you also have a fly speed and a swim speed equal to your speed. And remember, the elemental attunement is the reach of your unarmed strike being 10 foot more, or dealing the elemental strikes. So when utilizing that, that's when you gain your fly and swim speeds. At level 17, you get Elemental Epitome. You get damage resistance to one of the following damage types of your choice. And of course, it's the elements: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. At the start of each of your turns, you can change that choice. Love that. So if something finds out what you're immune to or not immune to or resistant to, they're going to start attacking you with certain things. And you can use this to help yourself. Destructive Stride. When you use your Step of the Wind, your speed increases by 20 feet until the end of your turn. For that duration, any creature of your choice takes damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die when you enter a space within 5 feet of it. The damage is your choice of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. A creature can take this damage only once per turn. Also, Empowered Strikes. Once on each of your turns, you can deal extra damage to a target equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die when you hit it with an unarmed strike. The extra damage is the same type dealt by that strike. So this is really cool to be able to change unarmed strike damage to an element. Like I said, there's multiple ways you could be using that and using those moves in a smart way. I think it's a great option for a subclass. So far, Monk is hitting pretty hard, and I like it. Lastly, we have Warrior of the Open Hand. This is going to definitely be for those who want to lean heavy into the martial arts. Level 3, you get Open Hand Technique, and a few things come with this. First, Addle. The target can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. So this is all granted by your Fury of Blows, and so you at level 3 are going to get a little bit stronger Fury of Blows by preventing them from not making opportunity attacks. In addition, you have Push. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up to 15 feet away from you. You also could choose Topple. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or you knock them prone. Love that. And it's cool because she's got like a bow staff on their back, so that's pretty cool. So I could totally see that being like used to trip somebody up. Level 6, Wholeness of Body. As a bonus action, you can roll one of your martial arts die. You regain a number of hit points equal to the number you just rolled, plus your wisdom modifier. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. At level 11, you get Fleet Step. When you take a bonus action other than Step of the Wind, like Fury of Blows, You can also use Step of the Wind immediately after that bonus action. So now your monk is going to be flying all around the battlefield and causing chaos, and I love it. You're flipping all over the place like old kung fu movies. I'm in. Level 17, Quivering Palm. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can expend 4 focus points to start these imperceptible vibrations, which last for a number of days equal to your monk level. The vibrations are harmless unless you take an action to end them. Alternatively, when you take the attack action on your turn, you can forego one of the attacks to end the vibrations. To end them, you and the target must be on the same plane of existence. When you end them, the target must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 10d12 force damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. So, this vibration is kind of like a lingering bomb on hold until you end the vibrations. It's like you're keeping the energy at bay until you're ready for it to just explode. I love that. 10d12 is a ton of damage. Not that anybody would roll 10 12s, but the potential there is like 120 damage if you max roll that. But you can only have one creature under this effect at a time. You can end the vibration harmlessly as well, no action required. So if you hold that and you're ready to make it go off on an enemy, but somebody else kills that enemy, now you don't want it to go off. You can just palm that energy and get it to go away. I think that's really, really cool. Monk, in my opinion, is underrated. I think it gets overlooked a lot by people playing the game. I think it's very fun to do the barbarian and the fighter and things like that. That's all great, but don't overlook Monk. This is a great class to play. I think I have a monk in half of the campaigns that I'm running. I think I'm running 4 right now, and there's a monk in 2 of them. And I love it. And they do a lot of cool, surprising things. So give it a chance. All right. That is the subclasses you get at Monk. Did you like this video yet? Can you? It's right there. Thanks. Also, be sure to check out our Talking Class playlist so you can get a breakdown of all the other classes 1 through 20, in addition to the separate video that will break down their subclasses just like this one. Have fun playing your Monk. Really, really enjoy it because it's got a lot of cool features. And until next time, we'll see you at the table.